I was quite surprised to see how low the average rating is for RV on IMDb. The film RV Runaway Vacation was released in 2006. It's got an average rating of 5.5 out of 10. I was expecting at least a 6.5. Because, not necessarily because the narrative is the most amazing thing or that the execution is fantastic, but Robin Williams' performance is so ridiculously engaging. Even when the narrative isn't doing that well, you can't help but smile and laugh at the film because his performance is brilliant. The film is directed by Barry Sonnenfeld, written by Jeff Rodkey, and is about a family they rent an RV and they decide to go on a road trip to the Colorado Rockies. And now I will say, I've said it before and I'll say it again, I don't like road trip films. There are maybe a couple that I like, and this one is not what I would say is a good road trip film. The actual way the road trip is executed, it's quite predictable. There were a couple of moments where things went so wrong for the family that it was quite unique. You know, it really took road trip chaos to a new level. But for the most part, you know, when they're all inside the RV and they're all being a dysfunctional family, arguing and things, it's pretty typical. But as I said, even when the narrative is a bit cliche, Robin Williams drives it into a completely different realm. Not that I'm saying it's absolutely perfect, but his performance makes this more than bearable. He plays Bob Munro. The family are Jamie, Cassie and Carl, played by Cheryl Hines, JoJo and Josh Hutcherson. We also have Kristin Chenoweth in this, Will Arnett's in this. It's got a really good cast, and I feel like everybody was well cast, and you know, the on-screen chemistry, particularly between the family members, whether they're having an emotional moment or they're having a fight, you know, they look good on screen. It works well as a family unit. It's something that I really enjoyed watching. The narrative, as I said, is pretty typical for a road trip story, a family road trip story, but there are times where things unexpected happened, which made it that little bit more engaging. So it's not a film that I have much to say about, because it's not phenomenal, but it's not appalling. It's a pretty average film, and sometimes average is okay. And sometimes I don't want to watch a phenomenal film that's going to, you know, captivate my attention and not allow my mind to wander and do other things. I like to multitask. It's a film that's comfortable. It's a good background film if you're, you know, doing something else, writing or whatever. Definitely a film that would work for that. Bit of a popcorn film, doesn't take much attention. A good way to spend an hour and 40 minutes, but probably not a film I'd watch again in a hurry. And I will say, if Robin Williams wasn't in it, I probably would never have watched it, because as I said, not the biggest fan of road trip films. But if he wasn't in it, I probably would have agreed with the 5.5 rating. So I realise I'm probably a little bit biased with my slightly higher 6, maybe 6.5. Let's go with 6. Slightly biased with that 6 rating, because I do absolutely love him, and you know, he could be in the worst film ever and I'd still enjoy that aspect of it, because I just find him so mesmerising and fascinating, and I can't stop watching him when he's in a film. So he certainly makes it something a little bit more enjoyable than it actually is. But you've got to find your fun somewhere. It's not a bad film. If there's anything in this that's drawn you to it, the narrative concept, if you particularly love road trip films or any of the cast or, you know, director or whatever, give it a go. I think you'll find it alright. But if you're not a fan of road trip films, you don't care about any of the cast, I can recommend some Robin Williams films to you that will change your mind about that. But if there's nothing about this that appeals to you, I'd say don't bother. You probably won't like it. It's average, decent enough for a one-time watch. Thank goodness Robin Williams is in it.